You ever feel like someone in your life just sucks the energy right out of you? Maybe it's a friend who only calls when they need a favor, or a relative whose friendly advice constantly leaves you second-guessing yourself. You feel drained, manipulated, and just plain exhausted by someone you once trusted. If that sounds familiar, I want you to know you're not alone, and you definitely don't have to live that way. In this video, I'm going to share 7 powerful strategies to help you reclaim your emotional space and finally find some peace. These aren't just quick fixes. They're foundational shifts that will change how you handle difficult people and, more importantly, how you protect your own well-being. So if you're ready to take back your power, let's dive in. Strategy 1, set clear and firm boundaries the first. And maybe the most important strategy is to set clear and firm boundaries. Think of boundaries as the rules for how you want to be treated. They aren't walls to keep everyone out, but they are fences to protect your peace. Toxic behavior loves ambiguity. When the lines are blurry, manipulators have all the room they need to work. Your job is to draw those lines with unshakable clarity. Setting a boundary doesn't mean you have to be confrontational or aggressive. It's about being direct and honest. It's about communicating what you will and will not put up with. This means you first have to figure out what behaviors are unacceptable to you. Maybe it's the constant negativity, the backhanded compliments, or the unsolicited advice about your life. Once you know your boundary, communicate it calmly and firmly. You don't need a big, dramatic speech. Simple, direct statements are always the most powerful. For example, if a friend always dumps their problems on you without ever asking about your life, a boundary could sound like this: I care about you, but I only have the energy for a 15-minute call today. If a family member criticizes your parenting, you could say, I appreciate your concern, but my parenting choices aren't up for discussion. I need you to respect that. The real key here is consistency. A boundary means nothing if you don't enforce it. Toxic people will almost always test you to see if you're serious. When they cross that line, you have to follow through. This might mean ending the conversation, leaving the room, or just reducing contact for a while. This isn't about punishing them. It's about teaching them how you expect to be treated. When you enforce your boundaries, you shut down manipulation and protect your precious emotional energy. 2. Strategy to create intentional distance. Our second strategy is to create intentional distance, both physically and emotionally. When someone's toxic behavior doesn't change even after you've set boundaries, reducing your exposure to them is a necessary act of self-preservation. Think about it. Some people are like batteries. They charge you up. Others are like vacuums. They suck the life right out of you. Your goal is to spend a lot less time plugged into the vacuums. Creating distance doesn't always mean you have to cut someone out of your life completely, though. Sometimes that's the only answer. It often starts with small, deliberate choices. Shorter conversations, less frequent texts. This also applies to creating emotional distance. You have to learn to detach from their chaos. Toxic people thrive on drama. They want a reaction. When you get upset, defensive, or angry, you're giving them exactly what they crave: your energy. One of the most powerful ways to create emotional distance is a technique called the gray rock method. The idea is simple. Become as boring and unresponsive as a gray rock. When they try to provoke you, you give them nothing. Use short, factual, unemotional answers. Avoid making much eye contact or giving detailed explanations. Phrases like, I see, or I'll think about that, will become your best friends. By refusing to play their game, you become a really uninteresting target, and often, the manipulator will just lose interest and move on. 3. Strategy 3. Practice self-compassion and emotional awareness when you're dealing with a toxic person. It's so easy to start blaming yourself. Their words can plant little seeds of self-doubt, making you wonder, am I just being too sensitive, or did I do something to cause this? This is exactly why our third strategy, practicing self-compassion and emotional awareness, is so critical. You have to become your own strongest advocate. Self-compassion means allowing yourself to feel your own emotions without judgment. It's okay to feel angry, hurt, or frustrated by someone's behavior. Instead of pushing those feelings down or beating yourself up for having them, just acknowledge them. A simple internal thought can be incredibly powerful. This is really hard right now. It's okay to feel this way. I'm going to be kind to myself. This practice helps you stay grounded, instead of getting sucked into their vortex of negativity. Remind yourself, their toxic behavior is a reflection of their issues, not your worth. Emotional awareness is the other side of this. It means checking in with yourself during and after you interact with them. How does this person make you feel? Drained? Anxious? Small? Your feelings are your internal alarm system, or signals telling you that a boundary has been crossed or that you need to pull back. By staying tuned into your emotions, you can respond proactively instead of just reacting. You can catch yourself before you get pulled into a pointless argument or a guilt trip. When you feel your anger rising, take a breath. When you feel yourself starting to defend your choices, just pause. This awareness gives you the power to choose a different response, one that actually serves your well-being and shrinks their power over you. Strategy 4, shift the power dynamic. Toxic interactions are almost always built on a power imbalance. The manipulator wants to control the conversation, your emotions, and your actions. Our fourth strategy is all about flipping that script by staying calm and giving minimal responses. It's about taking your power back by refusing to play their game. Manipulative people are experts at pushing your buttons because they've studied you. They know exactly what to say to make you angry, feel guilty, or feel obligated. They use this to provoke a reaction, and the moment you react emotionally, you've handed them control. The way to reclaim that control is to do the one thing they do unexpect. Stay calm. When they expect you to yell, speak in a measured, even tone. When they're trying to bait you into an argument, simply state your position and refuse to get drawn in. Over-explaining or justifying your decisions is a classic trap. The second you start defending your no, you're signaling to them that it's negotiable. You don't owe anyone a dissertation on why you're resetting a boundary or making a choice for yourself. A simple, "I'm not going to discuss this anymore," is a complete sentence. A calm, "I've made my decision," is a powerful way to shut down a manipulative conversation. These firm, brief responses deny them the drama they feed on. It will frustrate them because you're not following their script. They might even escalate their behavior for a bit to try and force a reaction. But if you hold firm, they'll eventually learn that their old tricks don't work on you anymore. This isn't about being cold. It's a strategic way to disarm them and protect your own peace. If these strategies are hitting home for you, it means you're ready for a positive change. Taking back your emotional well-being is a journey, and you're already taking the first steps. To make sure you don't miss out on more content designed to empower you, take a second to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. It's a small click that can make a big difference. 5. Strategy 5. Build a strong support system. Trying to handle a toxic person all by yourself can be incredibly isolating. They often try to make you feel like you're the only one who sees their behavior, which is a classic tactic to make you doubt your own sanity. That's why our fifth strategy is non-negotiable. Build a strong support system. You need people in your corner who can offer perspective, validation, and a shoulder to lean on. This could be trusted friends, family members who get it, or a professional therapist. Talking to someone outside of the drama is like opening a window in a stuffy room. They can offer a breath of fresh air and help you see the situation clearly. When a toxic person has been gaslighting you, having a friend say, "No, you're not crazy, so that was completely out of line," can be incredibly grounding. Support system does more than just validate you. It reminds you of what healthy relationships are supposed to feel like. Surrounding yourself with positive, uplifting people helps counteract the constant negativity and drain from the toxic relationship. It reinforces your self-worth and gives you the courage to hold your ground. Don't be afraid to be direct about what you need. If you can tell a friend, "Hey, I'm going through something difficult, and I'm not really looking for advice. I just need someone to listen." And let me be clear, seeking professional help from a counselor or therapist isn't a weakness. It's a sign of incredible strength. A therapist can give you specialized tools to navigate these relationships and heal from their effects. Remember, you don't have to carry this weight alone. A strong support network is your most powerful defense. 6. Strategy 6. Communicate with compassion when possible. Okay, this next strategy might sound a little backward at first, but in certain situations, it can be surprisingly effective. The sixth strategy is to communicate with compassion when it's safe and appropriate to do so. This is not about excusing toxic behavior. It's about understanding where it might be coming from. Often, people who act in toxic ways are operating from their own place of deep pain, insecurity, or trauma. Recognizing this doesn't mean you have to tolerate their behavior, but it can help you not take it so personally. Their actions are usually less about you and more about their own inner chaos. Approaching them with this in mind can sometimes de-escalate a tense situation. When you do need to communicate, use I statements to express yourself without placing blame. For example, instead of saying, "You're always so critical," you could try, "I feel hurt when you make comments about my choices." This frames the issue around your feelings, which are hard to argue with, instead of attacking their character. You can even validate their feelings without validating their behavior. A phrase like, "I hear that you're upset, but it's not okay for you to speak to me that way," separates their emotion from their unacceptable action. Now, a major disclaimer. This approach will not work with everyone, especially not with people who have strong narcissistic traits, who will likely see your compassion as a weakness to exploit. This is a tool to be used selectively, in relationships you still value and where you see a genuine possibility for change. But your safety and well-being always come first. If your compassion is met with more manipulation or aggression, that's your signal to fall back to other strategies, like creating distance. Strategy 7, know when to cut ties. Our final strategy is the most definitive, and for many, the hardest one, knowing when it's time to cut ties completely. This is the last resort, but in some cases, it's the only truly healthy option for your mental and emotional survival. Some relationships are so consistently damaging that no amount of boundary setting or compassionate communication is going to fix them. If someone repeatedly disrespects your boundaries, refuses to even acknowledge their harmful behavior, and leaves you feeling perpetually anxious, drained, or worthless, the healthiest choice may be to walk away. This can be an agonizing decision, especially with a close friend or family member. It's okay to grieve the relationship you wished you had. Making this call requires a radical commitment to your own well-being, so you finally declaring that your peace of mind is more important than their presence in your life. You have to give yourself permission to put your sanity first. Ending a relationship isn't a failure. It's a profound act of self-respect. It's you acknowledging that you deserve to be treated with kindness and dignity. Cutting ties is a process. It might mean having one final, clear conversation, or it might just mean quietly fading out and going no contact by blocking their number and social media profiles. The goal is a clean break, so you can finally start to heal without the constant threat of more toxicity. It's about making space in your life for people who are positive, nurturing, and actually see your worth. You are never obligated to keep people in your life who consistently cause you harm. So, let's do a quick recap of the 7 strategies. 1. Set clear and firm boundaries. 2. Create intentional distance. 3. Practice self-compassion. 4. Shift the power dynamic. 5. Build a strong support system. 6. Communicate with compassion when it's appropriate. And 7. Know when it's time to cut ties. Remember, you can't change a toxic person, but you can absolutely change how you respond to them. You have all the power you need to protect your energy, reclaim your peace, and build a life filled with healthy, respectful relationships. This isn't selfish, it's essential. You are worthy of peace. Deserve relationships that lift you up, not tear you down. Your journey to a more peaceful life starts today with one small choice. Choose yourself. What is one boundary you're going to set this week? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Reading through them is such a powerful reminder that none of us are alone in this. And if this video was helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content on building a life you absolutely love. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.